Paul, welcome back to the podcast. So we're glad to have you back. So it's been almost 2 years,
Yeah,
Jeff.
it's been over 2 years. Yeah.
We had Paul on, and he was our inaugural guest. So we're glad to have him back. This time we're talking about the Little League World Series and how Genna Ice has gotten engaged with them, how and when. Tell us the story there, Paul.
Well, we always knew that the Little League World Series was in an area that we serviced because we always got the phone calls. Hey, Little League World Series is coming up. We're going to get busy. Make sure you take care of us. And then in 2022, we had the opportunity to purchase ice company that was more local to that area. And as part of that, we acquired the account for the Little League World Series.
All right.
Well, very good. Let's flip over real quick, Jeff, if you don't mind. Let's show the map that we have here. So I'll get you access so we can get over that. So this is just showing we got Pennsylvania, got Great Lakes up here. This is a location roughly where Paul's at in the main facility, correct, Paul?
Correct.
And you guys about an hour and a half away from Williamsport there. And we just also wanted to give clicked on the wrong thing here. Just kind of overview as well as the facility with LeMade Field. I think did I mispronounce that again, Paul? Or are we?
I think you're all right.
Sort of on point. Okay. All right. We got LeMade Field, and we've got some of the other layouts here as well, where the field's at there in Williamsport. So
yeah, that one your cursor was just on is going to be volunteer.
This one here.
Yes, correct. And LeMade is going to be the one that actually faces kind of up the hill. And those are the two fields that primarily volunteer gets mostly the international games, and LeMade gets a lot of the regional to the states games.
Okay.
All right.
Very good.
Well, Paul, we're glad to have you back. This nugget is really all about the Little League World Series and Genna Ice supplying them with ice. And so just to talk about that a little bit, it is an annual baseball tournament held in South Williamsport, Pennsylvania for children ages 10 to 12. It was founded in 1947 by Carl E. Stotts, and it brings together 20 teams, 10 from the U.S. and 10 international teams, competing in a modified double elimination tournament. The event, hosted at Howard J. Lamad and Volunteer Stadiums, runs from August 13th through 24th, at least this year, with the games broadcast on ESPN. The U.S. and international brackets culminate in a single elimination championship game on August 24th. Known for its family-friendly atmosphere, free admission, and global appeal, the Little League World Series celebrates youth sports, teamwork, and sportsmanship, drawing teams from over 80 countries and millions of viewers worldwide. So, Paul, tell us about what does it take for Genna Ice, for you guys to really take care of that that event?
Well, obviously, acquiring the ice company that had been servicing it, everybody at that venue was concerned that did we know what we were doing to be able to take care of them well? And that's always the concern. I mean, we have to reinsure customers on a routine basis that we've been doing this for a very long time. Yes, your event is different than the next guy's event, but it's still an event. We still understand that there's criteria that need to be met. This particular event, you're not just dealing with the Little League World Series as the vendor. They're one of probably five vendors on site. There's concessions that's completely different than the Little League organization, as well as folks like ESPN and a couple other smaller vendors that may sell slushies or coffee, things like that there. So you have to coordinate with each of those individuals to make sure that nothing's changed year over year and their expectations and needs for the event. But the biggest challenge we have on site is we have to be there early and out of there early because, again, it is a free event. You go there, the parking's free, admission's free. You really could go there and spend $0 if you wanted and have a good experience. But these people will start rolling in early because they want those good hillside seats. They want to make sure that they get the opportunity to pick where they're going to be out on watching the games, and so they want us out of there. They don't want trucks in there past I think it's 10 a.m. We have to be out of there on an average day. So that's got to be the single biggest challenge with an event like this. And we have a number of other events that a lot of fairs have deadlines on when they expect you to be out of there, and it's obviously for the safety of their patrons. But from our vantage point, when you're doing something that is a day or 2 days or 3 days, you can put a specific person on that event and make sure that they take care of it. But when it's something that runs, this one is about 2 weeks, all said and done. By the time you set it up and you get through kind of the midweek point or the midway point in the event, there's a like a day break that we get as long as there's no rain out. So there's one day that we don't have to show up, but it's still every day, early in, early out, and then they'll throw usually the 2 Sundays we have to be out of there super early. So off site by like 7 a.m. because they're going to play games at 9 a.m. and people are going to start showing up, and all that translates into just fatigue on our end. You
Sure.
do a good job. I have multiple guys that have to get their background clearances in order to be on site.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So they all submit to the Little League World Series for background check. They get badges that they wear. They keep them on their trucks so that they can access the grounds. And if I don't put enough people on that list, then the guys that are on that list get thrown a little bit more work there because it's just that it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
Seems like it'd be demanding. So I want to ask our first icebreaker to you. So you're talking about getting there early. Have you ever snuck out and taken a few cuts on the field?
Um, I personally haven't, no. And I usually will get my clearances in case something comes up and I need to be there. This year I did go as a visitor rather than a vendor, and got to take the kids down and partake in it. And that was the first year actually that we've done it. We've talked about it a number of years, and we said we really got to make this happen. 11, 13 is prime time for the kids to get there and see it.
Yeah.
I can I can already tell that 5 years from now I'm going to have missed the window, and my kids are going to be like, "Really, you want to drag us down there for this?" I want to definitely get that in the books for the memories.
Yeah.
Well, I see behind you, you got two photos of Parker and Nolan. I assume that is that Parker there? Well, our right, I guess, be off your left.
This is Nolan.
That's
And
Nolan. Okay, it's just kind of hard to see. Sorry.
yeah, and then this is Parker over by the hat here.
Okay.
This is
Gotcha, gotcha.
a middle school baseball picture, and this is actually a all-star picture that somebody took for us, and it's actually a really cool picture of him. Uh, nothing added to it. That was actually
Oh,
the picture.
okay.
Yeah.
Just a really
That's legit.
neat picture, and we decided that it was one that we needed to actually put up in frame. Now I won't be able to get it back on the wall, but
The world is watching. The
That's
whole
fine.
ice
Sit
world
down.
is judging
How
you.
many falls does it take to get the picture? I like it. I like it. So we've got a few photos I want to show of the field, and I believe you got.
yeah, a number of these photos I either took or had my team take in order to kind of depict. Biggest thing is kind of it's just like when you do like a football stadium. We're there when nothing's happening, and that's the calm. And it's really just a completely different experience being on site when there's nothing, and then
Mhm.
rolling into an event and seeing 50, 60,000 people in some of these different venues.
Yeah.
How much different it is. One of the things that I think is wildly amusing as a vendor for the Little League World Series is we'll talk about the hill a little bit more in a bit, but there's actually a concession stand that is up on the path by the hill, and it's a very narrow pathway to the top. And when we go in pre-event, all the grass on the facility is pristine, and the
Mhm.
path's very narrow. We have to get equipment up there, And so we have to be very careful getting up there. And we get the box set, and the event starts, and then kids start riding down the hill on cardboard and trashing all of the grass. And you're telling us we can't run one tire off the path, but you let
Right.
these kids just completely demolish your whole hillside.
By
And
the
we're
end,
talking
there's
about
no
back
grass.
here.
Exactly.
So up here on the top for the hill, yes, we will jump into that. We'll do that as soon as we get through these series of photos. But
That
it's just
looks beautiful.
it's so like that first picture that you had. It's like that you see sometimes on a golf course. Well, as soon as the sun comes up and you got some of the dew is evaporating. It's just absolutely beautiful. It looks like you guys had Chamber of Commerce weather there with the clouds in the sky and everything. And again, another shot with the hill. Is this where you're talking about up at the top part of the hill, or is it a little bit lower that you were referring to?
So it's further up the hill. Well, that's the section there where you're at, where they're riding down. But where that flagpole is, just at ground level at that flagpole, there's a path that comes up around. In this picture, it'd be to our right, and there's some concessions to the right there that we set a box up there, and so we bring an ice truck up there, and it's a very narrow path, and you get up there, and you're like, we made it, we got it, and we did what we're supposed to do. We took care of the grass, everything's great, and then you show up at the end of the event, and you're like, between the gators that they run and the cardboard sliding going down the hill, and there are years where there's rain and they tear it up even worse. But
Oh, wow.
it's just part of the experience. It's what's expected. I mean, people don't just bring cardboard; they build cardboard sled. They really make some neat stuff. Unfortunately, like, I didn't get you any of those pictures, but if you watch the event on ESPN, you'll see where somebody will make like a little race car out of cardboard
Yeah.
and different things like that. So it's really part of the experience. It's one of those few places left in the country at this point where, even though you don't know anybody else that's there, you're all going for the same reason. It's the experience, and you can let your kids wander off and go on the hill and have a good time, and everybody's just looking out for everybody. And I didn't run into anybody that was like rude in my time there as a visitor. It's just like, hey, this was everybody's just here for a cool experience, and that's really pure. And we love baseball at that level because it is so pure still.
Now, were you still? I know you said you went as a fan, but I mean, did you have a Genna Ice hat? Did you have?
Oh, I have to rep.
Yeah,
It would be like Jared from Good Time not wearing his Good Time Ice T-shirt.
yeah, absolutely,
Just how
absolutely.
it is. I visited with my contacts on site that were out doing their thing, and made sure everything was good while I was there. It's always dual purpose a trip, but it was a good time, and got to accomplish both.
Now, do they require a certain grade of cardboard? You can't have plastic. I mean, do they have like cardboard aficionados that, hey, you have to use this? I mean, what level of detail do they go to make sure you're using cardboard?
No, I think it's just on written rule. It's, you show up with whatever cardboard you have. There's not a unless your name's written on the piece of cardboard, you better have it claimed as your own with you, or it's fair game, and they'll tell you that right there. Anybody that's part of the organization, whether they're a volunteer, which I think largely this event is made up of volunteers that help run it, but they're like, hey, if it's laying there and it doesn't have somebody's name on it, take it.
Yeah.
Go with it. So, like I said, there are definitely many people that have done it many years. Those are the people that show up with their cardboard already decorated up. They have their Adirondack chairs with the backs of the chairs. The back legs are cut off so that it sits on the hill and digs in, and
There you go.
it's part of the process. I mean, it really is. And every year on ESPN, they'll go around and talk to the fans and interact with them. And that's one of the things they always talk about is, the chair setup, the cardboard, the food. The food's a big thing. They always have some pretty unique stuff that they serve there that is always pretty good as well.
Well, it sounds like a really good, wholesome scene that kind of gives us a window back in time to days where your kids could roam free and have a good time, and just everyone was there for family fun.
Jeff's getting choked up. So. All right, since we talked about the hill, here we go. If you want to give a play-by-play, because I'll tell you one thing I like about this young lady right here. You'll see her. She's telling these a little bit older than young women on this cardboard how to do it. So
I will not tell Erin that you called her that. The one on the far left is my wife Erin, and then the one in front and center in the middle is a high school friend of hers, and then the other two are colleagues of hers throughout her life. And she just happened to run into her while we were there. She actually lives closer to Philadelphia, and she came up for the weekend. Or for I think it was the weekend actually. We went on Thursday, I believe, and she was staying. She went to Bloomsburg University. She was taking her kids over there to show them that as well. And she's like, "Hey, we're here. We just happen to run into each other. Something we have to do together." And everybody obliged and took the ride, and they
Very
were
cool.
giggles and laughs the whole way down. So nobody got hurt. It was good stuff.
Well, I have a photo that I want to show. We had that young lady showing them how to do it, and then when we get this guy down at the bottom, just kind of stared at him and is like, "All righty then." So, but look, every one of these are showing teeth. I mean, they are having an absolute blast coming down that slide. So, that is something that if you're in the area or not in the area, it looks like a bucket list item. That you got to go. I noticed they didn't have a fully decorated one though. Did they not come prepared?
No, I think that was probably out of convenience. But like I said, if it's on the ground, doesn't have your name written on it, or someone's name written on it, it's fair game. And there are people there just encouraging you to go do it and have a good time. And on the Players' Day, so the pro teams that come into play in Williamsport for the event, I don't know if it's something that we talked about ahead of time or not, but the MLB Classic is played up the road at a draft league stadium that's up the road. They bring in every year two MLB teams play each other. It's exclusive to the kids as far as attendance goes. So they bring in all the kids get to go there and watch the MLB game. But the day that that's happening, the players come down to the little league fields and hang out. So you'll see a lot of pro players ride on cardboard, and they'll wipe out, roll out of it, and then there'll be 20 kids just pile on them and get autographs and everything. But that's one of the busiest days there because people know that the MLB stars are going to be there.
That's pretty cool.
Very neat.
Yeah, so really just got last icebreaker question for you, and we'll wrap up this nugget with you, Paul. So with the Little League World Series being free admission, and you were talking about the low-cost concessions, we're going to ask you, we did a little Google searching, so you don't have enough time to look it up real quick, but how much do you think the Little League World Series made gross? So we don't know what they net, but any idea?
I really don't have an idea. I can't say that you put words in my mouth that the concessions are low cost, but they are good.
Yeah, okay.
They're probably in queue with a lot of ballparks when it comes to buy in. Geez, I can tell you from my day there that in souvenirs I probably spent $100, and in vending and concessions I probably spent about the same. So I probably dropped $200 while I was there. I can't say that everybody does that, but I gotta believe that over the course of that event that it is just I would hope it's in the millions. I know there's a lot of sponsorship involved with it. When you watch games, you see like the little icons come up, and they've got trustables, and then it goes to everybody's got the Easton bats, the new hype fires. They're all the rage with the kids, so they're constantly pumping you full of sponsorship. So I'm sure it's a big number. and it has to be in order to put on something like that. They're putting these kids up in dorms throughout the event. They're providing a lot of entertainment off the field for them. They're providing just beautiful facilities that any one of us would love to step onto those fields and play on. They're just as pristine as they come. So
Beautiful. Yeah.
I'm sure they do fine for themselves, but I have no idea what that number is.
Well, and a little bit of an unfair question, but you are correct in the millions. And by the way, the low cost concession. So when I Googled, it came back and told me that. So these numbers I'm about to tell you, I have no idea besides just a quick Google search if these are accurate, but they sound pretty cool. But it was saying that the Little League Baseball World Series makes approximately between $30 to $40 million during its run. And obviously, I'm sure that's annualized as far as their sales. Like you got a hat behind you, right? That we were talking about before. You said that they sell them for regions, so that's not just a Little League World Series hat. It's for, you said, the Northeast region. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah. Well, this is Mid-Atlantic.
Mid-
This would be
Okay,
Mid-Atlantic. And that's I think 40 for a hat.
Okay, 40 for a
It's
hat.
unreasonable, but it is $40.
Yeah, it's $40. So, and it was saying also ESPN was around 7.5 million, I would assume, of that, and they have a contract running through 2030. So, it is a big event that occurs throughout the year. So you could go to their website, buy stuff all throughout the year. But obviously, I would assume, like the Iceman, you guys make the majority of your money when it's hot. So I assume they make the majority of their money when the event's going on. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
It does change over the course of the event. Early on, this year the weather was great, and the kids are still out of school when the event starts. As the teams, once you get past the MLB Classic, then teams start to go home that lost their 2 games and they're on their way out, and so parents start going home, family members start going home. So it starts to whittle down till you get to the point where, like, hey, now we're in semifinals. We're going to see who the U.S. champion is, the international champion is, and then watch them go up against each other. That's that final weekend where they crown the champion. So it does slow down a little bit. It's not like it's every day just crazy busy.
right.
But it's just a really cool event. Again, it's a wholesome event. It's really like just one of those things that you go to it and you're like, all these people are here for the same purpose, and it's just to have a good time.
Yeah. Well, so glad that you came back to visit and to share this little nugget with us and our audience. Thanks for sharing your insight, and we think our audience will find it interesting. Anyone who's watching today, if you have an idea for a nugget, a topic that you'd love to see us cover, we'd be all game. Shoot us an email or leave us a comment on whatever social platform you're watching on. We're coming at you from the RouteMan Studios from KCS headquarters in Pelham, Alabama. Thank you so much for coming today, Paul.
Well, thanks for having me, guys, and congratulations on 2 years plus at this point. So
Yeah.
look forward to many more.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Paul. Have a great day.
You too, guys.